And we're here, unironically. Okay. Yesterday I woke up late and so did not have time to stream. But now I do, so I'm doing that. Look at me, being responsible. I'm talking weird, funny even. Why is that? I don't I don't know. I was doing a bit. Alright. I'm gonna pull up tunes real quick and then we'll do some art and then I'll go to work. uh, Not you. Excuse you. Not you. Some kind of annoying thing is that I can't blame him because like I respect the grind of this person putting out like so the person who makes his playlist is like putting out like ad-free music, royalty-free music that you can play on stream, and it's like, this shit's pretty good. This shit's pretty good. I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful that I'm not listening to more like basic shitty free music. You know what I mean? But they also put their most recent album at the top of the playlist, and it's like, I want to fucking scramble, bro. I can't do that if you have a 30-minute thing right at the top. I get it. I respect the grind. You've got to like fucking promote the shit out of yourself to, advance when you have so much like royalty free stuff out there. Like, there are so many imperfect things about the way that we promote art currently. You want to hear like my fucking like presidential policy proposal? Honestly, for like, there should be there should be a national endowment for free art, royalty-free art. If you put your art out there, royalty-free, anyone can use it for anything, and you register it with the government, you like formally file it as public domain stuff with the Library of Congress, there should be some sort of tax pool that is collected from just like the economic activity that's generated from that free stuff being out there. Like, people that use it aren't paying you, but they're paying sales tax on an income tax on whatever money they make from what they make based on using your work. And then that goes into a big pot. And then everyone, regardless of whether it was their work used or not, gets a little bit of money out of the pot. We're talking like cents on the dollar here. Not a lot of money, but something, just a little extra thing that makes it worthwhile, especially for hobbyists, to put out free stuff. In this scenario, you would also have to do something about AI, but there's a lot of problems with it. Like, I don't know. Just like something to like fucking spread the love and be like, yo, we appreciate the free work that you have to do when you're starting out, I feel like that would be a good thing to do in the world. But that's just me, I guess. Anyway, we've begun. Look at us. We've started. Oh my god. So inspirational. Alright. So the last thing I streamed... I didn't stream it. I recorded a video that I have to do some editing to. I might try to do that today. I might try to do that today. There's been this phenomenon in my area that's been going on. I think it's dying down a little bit because it's just so fucking silly. People have been taking footage of planes in New Jersey and saying that there's some sort of government surveillance drone, which A drone is just a remote control plane, especially the big ones are just remote control planes, so even if it was, that wouldn't even really, like, it'd be hard to tell. You know, if the drone has navigation lights, if it's a big drone, it looks just like a plane. But that's not what they're doing. We have no reason to believe, they don't offer any evidence that these things aren't regular aircraft. The one thing that they kind of do is some of them bring up Flight Radar 24 and say, hey, why isn't this flight on Flight Radar? And the answer is they're not all on Flight Radar. Only a couple of the flight recording, the flight tracking apps have everything, all of the flights. There are ones that do have all of them. You have to, because otherwise planes are going to bang into each other. But Flight Radar 24 isn't one of them. Alright. So you see this? Yeah, this looks like crap. I'm going to want to redo this one, but I'm going to redo this later. I want to... What do I want to do? So... For those just joining us, the friggin' 3 people that have watched like 2 seconds of this as a VOD. That sounds defeatist. I'm doing this for me, man. Like, honestly. That is a core part of the mission, just to make this stuff and, like, give myself a structure to sort of, like, base that around. Do I want to I'm considering redoing the heavy gunner right now. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Just don't wanna. I want to start with this guy. So... He's going to be interesting because we have black and yellow for most of these guys, but for him he's black and gold. The thing I'm going to do after this rough is block out the colors. Block out the colors, and that gives me more of a idea of what to do for the lines. You see this? It's very subtle gold trim. We're gonna need to do that here. Yeah. For a second I was thinking about doing the lines in gold, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's too much of a departure from my typical... People have given me a suggestion, line in color. Do your lines in colors other than black. And I said... I just said no. I didn't really have anything smart to say. They're probably right, but here I am, you know? Alright. So another thing we have to do is figure out what we're going to do for the black. We do have the, black can be hard to color for because you don't just want to do black unless you're, you know, really stylizing it. And I'm not styling on them that hard with this, so I think I'm going to do this more of a metallic gray that you see in a lot of these undertones, except for this one. See that? See this kind of tan? Yeah, that's going to be different for him, for the big guy. Look at us. Being professional. What's interesting is that you see a lot of colors on colors here. That is to say, in the original color scheme of these armors, we're seeing a lot of very similar dark grays. Like, see this whole, like, this is like a buckle complex here. We've got an understrap, an overstrap. We've got the silver buckle. I think I'm going to include that. And I want to include, just make this into 2 lines, because I, honestly, I'm a big sucker for that. I'm going to annotate this layer of line art as we go, just to mark those little details. Nice fluorescent purple. Just like that. Put the buckle right there. You hear this song? This is groovin'. This is why I put on this playlist. It's fucking groovin', man. One tough thing here. This is actually a challenge. I'm gonna have to do things a little bit differently. I'm gonna have to color and line at basically the same time, because there's so much of the same color here that if I just color in everything that's going to be this dark gray color, I'm not really doing much in terms of working out the finer details of the structure, which is with blocking out the colors like this. That's an element of what I'm trying to do, is block out the structure and finer detail, while also getting the basic balance of the colors down. But honestly, a lot of this is going to be monochromia with details, except for highlights like this. Let's get a nice silver here. There we go. Except for these buckles, things like that. This is going to be a lot of gray on gray. So we need to start lining right away to... No, actually, not lining. The thing to do is to make these purple roughs their own layer. And... yeah, do more sketching, but with a much finer tool. Let's grab a nice fluorescent purple. Just like this. When we go to do the line art, honestly, probably end up just erasing large swaths of the sketch. The underneath rougher sketches. Kind of a complicated way of doing it, but here we are, you know. Bada bing. Up here is where we have less of a problem. The fabric is just one color, not a lot of texturing on the fabric. We're going to run into it again up here with a belt, you know. A lot to consider. You can see there's a lighter stripe of gold up here. But not that wide. Where were we? Purple. Let's get the purple. There we have it. Taking note of the belt right here. What it's doing. I've got that area blocked out. Trying to decide how much I want to emphasize this really little gold band here. I'm trying to decide if this is even a belt or if this is like... Yeah, it's a belt, but you see how the chest plate kind of goes over it? You can't really see the top. Anyway. There's levels to it. You and I know. Okay. I don't know why I did that. Randomly just singing songs from Damn here. Did I mention that I'm a fan of currently one of the most famous rappers in the game? I'm so unique and original. No, but seriously, the fucking... Me and everybody else, enamored by the fucking Drake beef, man. That just came out of fucking nowhere. I'm like... I didn't know anything of the lead up to that. I don't really listen to rap music. I listen to Kendrick. I don't really listen to rap music. I'm one of those fuckers. It's like, what was it I saw him drop? I think I saw him drop Euphoria, and I'm like, what's going on? Wait, this is a Drake diss? And then everything else followed from there. That was my... That's silver. That's silvery. I can use the silver for that little skull shape. And I'm just gonna block out its general outline for now. Gonna have to go back in and do more of that later. But any who's next? Yeah, no, I didn't... The lead up to that, I feel like a lot of people didn't know until, like, the major disses were flying, because I didn't hear about push-ups. Because I don't give a shit about Drake, but then Kendrick dropped Euphoria. And I forget how I saw that. I think I might have just seen it in the YouTube suggestions. I was like, oh shit, this is a Drake diss? Kendrick and Drake are beefing? I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen. That's a thing that could happen? I'm really fucking cultured, folks. But yeah, no, talk about fucking world's most one-sided rap beef. I'm not the first person or the last person to say that. Honestly, I have been going back and listening to, every once in a while I go back and I listen to, like, Meet the Grams. Or, hold on, I gotta do a little bit of... Damn, look at that. Sorry, a little bit of, a little bit of a Twitch, Sorry. I just noticed something pop up on Twitch, and it's my first fucking... This is just an indictment of the state of the internet right now. My first fucking chat on this Twitch stream, and it's a fucking bot advertising bot followers, dude. Like, yo, fucking, honestly, things are fucking cooked right now, man. Like, I am simultaneously preaching to the choir and absolutely no one, because, like, fucking, like, I've got a fucking no followers stream. I'm just starting out. But, like, yeah, no, it says something that, like, fucking, no followers stream first starting out, and the first thing that hits me up is a fucking scam advertising free followers, man. Like, I hate the fucking dead internet theory is real meme, because, like, not really, right? Like, we're not at the point where that theory's really been proven yet, but, like, we are at a state where, yeah, there's, like, it's so fucking, honestly, what it is interesting. The internet has offered an enigma for people that have a vested interest in controlling media spaces, in that it's a hard media space to control, and it's like, how are they going to control it? Like, this isn't really conspiracy theory shit. This is just kind of basic power dynamic shit that you have narrative mongers out there who, they have a message they want to spread, and they're not going to be able to spread it in a organic way because people don't fucking like them. I'm talking about people like advertisers, really basic stuff, like fucking moon pies, right? Remember the moon pie Twitter? Nobody gives a shit about moon pies. Nobody gives a shit about moon pies, okay? Like, if moon pies existed, didn't exist, if moon pies stopped existing, would you notice? The answer is no. You wouldn't spare a single thought for moon pies not existing, even if you've had moon pies. Unless you're, like, one of the 3 people in the world who are, like, moon pie stans. You're not gonna miss them. And bear in mind, I'm talking about, like, the fucking moon pie company. I'm not talking about, like, moon pie, like the cultural food in China, which I think is, like, what fortune cookies are based off of. But no, I'm talking about, like, you know, the fucking, like, junk food pastry. Like, nobody would care. Nobody cared. Same thing with, like, Tasty Cakes. I say that a little bit because I had a lot of I say that with a little bit of hesitancy because I had, like, Tasty Cakes when I was young, before I, like, knew that I was allergic to bread. But yeah, no, like, even Tasty Cakes, like, if fucking Tasty Cakes stopped existing tomorrow, I would, like, say, oh no, Tasty Cakes, and then move on with my life because I don't give a shit. The challenge that dynamic advertisers are faced with that dynamic is they need people to care about their products in order to buy them, or they want people to think about the products in order to buy them. And, like, what fucking, how do they do that? And the answer they've fallen upon, they tried with, like, the corporate accounts with, like, making them good, but there's only so much activity that engendered. Like, people will fucking people will, like, look at the Wendy's Twitter for, like, a minute, but they're not going to be more likely to go to Wendy's after reading the Wendy's Twitter. That kind of thing. And so what have they settled upon? They settled upon bots. They settled upon, like boosting their engagement artificially to make sure that they're on the front page, even though nobody gives a shit about them. Yeah, this is on top of, like, the ads that they push. This is on top of other stuff. Look at that. You see this lighter? This is not quite silver, but this is going to be important to get this color distinction. Yeah, no, so we're in a space now where between them and the political bots, which that's the darker thing, man. Like, politicians, political causes that do not have public support, basically barging into social media by just, like, fucking, by attrition, you know, with botting accounts. National, like, fucking, like, national level narratives, party level, bullshit. I'm not gonna both sides things. There are some orgs, there are some causes that do more of that than others. Not gonna name names, but yeah, no, it's a dark place we're in right now where, like, I mean, just look at fucking Twitter. I don't even have to say anything. Just look at fucking Twitter, man. Like, what it's become. Most of that is off the... A lot of that is off the backs of, manipulation of human-made accounts, but so much of it is fucking bots, man. Like, I remember there's a video, you can go look up the video, Hank Green, where he talks about being on Blue Sky and having this one detractor respond to him on what should be a pretty uncontroversial take about, like, I think it was about, like, fucking climate change or something he was talking about, and this guy came in and is like, I disagree. And he looked at this guy's account, and it wasn't a guy, it was a bot that responds to everything with I disagree. This bot just picks posts at random that are on, like, issues that are not hot button issues in reality. Most people agree on this stuff, but they're like, I disagree. They're artificially... They're creating... They're farming engagement. They're, like, trying to keep conversations from ever being finished, right? Like, they're trying to keep things in the news so it feels like this is still a divisive issue. It gives a legitimacy to politicians who try to act like it's a hot button issue. It like paralyzes people who want to talk about, like, next steps of what do we do about this thing that most people agree upon. It's trying to arrest social consensus, because it's not like 100% of people agree on anything, but, like, for instance, universal healthcare. You have to like search for somebody who doesn't want universal healthcare, and when you find them, they're an idiot who is obstinate, contrarian, and probably not real. A lot of them, like, aren't fucking real people anymore. Like, for real. Especially because, like, if you're trying to have a legitimate career online, like, you don't want to be fucking Johnny doesn't want universal healthcare, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be unpopular just from that. How does this look? Does this look good? Yeah, this got the quality of, going for. It's a little bit more saturated, actually. Oh yeah, look how close that is to the silver. We just gotta go a little bit up. Like here. Yeah, look at that. That's good. But no, it sounds conspiratorial, but, like, you can see it in the numbers. There's an epidemic of bots in a lot of online social media spaces. Corporate social media, like your Facebooks, your Twitters. I say corporate social media, they're all run by corporations. Like, but megacorp social media, that's the bigger one. The megacorps, your Metas, your Twitters, your TikToks. Yeah, they don't have an incentive to stop the bot stuff because it does keep people... It's a constant slop farm, but people watch the slop is the problem. It keeps people engaged, you know? Yeah, and that's why there's a fucking bot in my chat advertising followers, because, you know, we're in a fucking phase. We're in a fucking phase, man, where it's like... You know, you're competing with, like, fucking content farms run in India that have, like, 100 Indian dudes just all operating their own bots, being paid $2 an hour to just pump out content, pump out content, pump out content. Is any of it good? No, but it's such wide volume and it engages on hot button issues that your fucking grandmother clicks on it and, like, writes a fucking reply, and that just, you know, snowballs. The only way to stop it, because the thing is that you can't... You're asking people to... If you're asking people to police their own social media activities, that is something that you should do, right? in the short run. Like, that's something that I've have to do and struggle with. Because, like, you want social media to be a turn off your brain and just, like, enjoy space, you know? But you can't because of the slop. You can't just sort of let it wash over you because there's so much crap there, you know? Like, I remember fucking Vsauce Michael here made a good point about that behavior of, like, turning off your brain and just sort of letting things pass in front of you. That's not an inherently bad activity to engage in. It's something naturally we do. An example of a healthier, like, older way of doing it is, like, sitting at the park and watching the ducks, right? You sit at the park, you sit at the bench, you watch the ducks go by. Are you thinking about anything? Especially, are you thinking about the ducks? No, it's just noise. But that quiet, that stimulation can actually be healthy for your brain if you're in a paradigm where what you're watching is relaxing, is actually calming, right? Like, if you are watching the ducks and the ducks are, like, eating each other, that's not good for you. That's not good to watch, just turning your brain off and letting it wash over you. And that's where we're in with social media. You're, like, constantly watching the ducks eat each other. And, like, the little bit of tinfoil hat to it that I subscribe to, although I wouldn't call it tinfoil hat, but the little bit of tinfoil hat that I subscribe to with it is that a purpose, secondary, tertiary, but a purpose of divisive, vitriolic, irritating social media content is to spur encourage a passivity in engagement. I don't know how to quite put my finger on it, but they want you to engage but disengage. By they, I mean, like, fucking thought leaders, megacorpos mostly. They want engagement, but they want a certain type of engagement. They want passive engagement. They don't want people, like, what they want is people talking about how much they love product. What they don't want is people talking about how product sucks, actually, and you should just, you know, buy older, better product that isn't planned obsolescent and they can't make money off of. The good example is, like, cast iron pans. Like, honestly, like, if I'm screw it, I'm in the cast iron pan cult, you know? I have a cast iron pan. I love those cast iron pans. They are fucking... I'm saying this, like, the fucking underlying thing is that the megacorpos make money off of, like, the good shit, too. Like, I have an Amazon Basics cast iron pan, right? I'm done with this guy, and I'm towards the end, and this is a good natural stopping point, so I'm just gonna rant about cast iron for a minute. Cast iron pans last forever, and they do all of the jobs that, like, a non-stick Teflon pan can do. The difference being the Teflon pans, how do I get rid of this message? I'll have to figure that out later. The cast iron pans don't break in the same way the Teflon pans do. They don't wear down in the same way the Teflon pans do. You can get cast iron, and if you take good care of it, it'll last a lifetime. And if you don't take good care of it, all you have to do is stick it in is do some, like, a little bit of elbow grease to remove the rust, and then it'll last a lifetime. Because, like, it's a fucking just a chunk of cast iron. Like, what's it gonna fucking do, you know? It would take many centuries for the rust to get to the point where it's compromising. Not centuries, but it would take a long freaking time for the rust to get to a point where it's compromising the actual structure of the cast iron, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's no reason to use another pan. If you... I mean, preference, maybe you... I don't know, you like Teflon, but you like the idea of cooking with no grease or no fat at all. You like that for whatever reason, you freak. Legitimately, like, yeah, I want to cook my chicken with no oil, no seasoning. You'd probably put seasoning on it, but the point is, it's fucking weird, the idea of just cooking something without any kind of oil. Frying something without any kind of oil. That's strange to me. I mean, I say that I'm getting an air fryer. The point is, doing that in a pan is weird to me. Forget it. The point is, like a corporation would rather have you engage with the Teflon pans of the world than the cast iron pans of the world. And I'm saying that in terms of not only products but political stuff as well. I am like going full like fucking politics here, but whatever. Like the cheap disposable stuff that they can make money on because of things like planned obsolescence and things like this, that, and the other thing. That's your Teflon. And I'm not being literal there. Cheap disposable talking points, cheap disposable ideas is what they'd rather have you talk about in the media. Because they'd rather keep the decision making to themselves. But democracy is so freaking popular that even autocracies pretend to do it. And so there's this need to make people feel like they're part of the conversation, but they want the conversation to go their way, because if it doesn't, they lose money. They don't even lose money, they make less money. Which it sounds like the same thing, but it's different, I swear. It's like in a world where we had like universal healthcare and unions and all the other things that are just like common sense stuff that would be really good for average everyday Americans, corporations would still make money hand over fist. It's just that they would have less avenues for making more money hand over fist. Markets at the top would be more calcified. They'd be more stable. They'd be more amiable to long-term stability and slow, steady growth, or just like they'd be more amiable to you just living your life comfortably and dying with plenty to pass on to the next generation, you feel? But that's not what people want. People want to be Jeff Bezos, but there is a Jeff Bezos. So there needs to be volatility so that people can capitalize on the volatility to be the next Jeff Bezos in that market. That's why people are talking about like things like fucking raw milk, right? Raw milk benefits no one. People say that it has more nutrients. Like, if it has more nutrients, then just drink slightly more pasteurized milk and you'll get the same benefit. Or just drink something else, or just drink or eat something else on your diet that has the same nutrients. Why are you exposing yourself to eat frickin' coli in order to get slightly more nutrients? It's insane. The reason why it is because it's a volatile market. It's an undeveloped market, raw milk. So you have a chance to be the Jeff Bezos of raw milk. Or the dairy farms have a chance to make slightly more money off of raw milk. And so it's like, we want this even though it's bad. Even though, like, any objective measure of the reality says that this is just going to cause disease outbreaks, right? Where the frick was I going with this? That's kind of thing is what they want you to engage with. But people actually, on the internet especially, want to engage with your cast iron pan discussions, where it's like, where is the places that we can put in a little bit more effort or change our behaviors slightly to reap benefit? Like, you go on Reddit and you see discussions of not what is the hottest, newest product to buy, but what is the best product to buy. I know I'm mostly talking literal there because politics on Reddit are fucking garbage, but like, you see people talk about, you know, products, literal products in the marketplace that are of good quality, they last a long time, they work for a specific person, or they're very beneficial with maintenance. Maybe not right away, but with maintenance they're really good. But they're not the ones that are advertised, because they're products that can stand on their own 2 feet, or they're like a hidden fucking secret, you know? Not a hidden secret, but like, you know, they have, the company just operates on a small scale, and like sells to back-end consumers, you know, like they sell to other companies, and so they can sell to individuals. Most individuals don't think to buy them, that kind of thing. And yeah, companies don't like that because they make less money when they do that. Not less money. The markets are more calcified when people have those discussions, because it's like, why get anything other than a cast iron pan? I'm going in circles, but you get my point. Like, there is a conversation that corporations and people in power want you to have, and then there's the conversations that are actually beneficial to people. In the internet, the special thing about it is that since it's just people talking at the end of the day, since social media at the end of the day is just people talking parallel to parallel, it's difficult to control the conversation. And so, yeah, the workaround that the powers that be have found is just make the conversation more frustrating. Fill it up with chaff, fill it up with noise, through bots, through rage bait, through engagement farming. And, yeah, just like, you can't stop it, but you can paralyze it, and you can get people to log off. That doesn't work in the long run, and there's an element of incompetence here. Whenever you're analyzing a system, always keep in mind that people in power aren't actually that good at their jobs, and there's a significant element of this is an unintentional consequence that we're running with, but we'd rather not have this be a thing. And for social media, they don't mean to so overwhelm the space that people log off, but that's what they've got. And that's what they're going to work with, because it's what they have in front of them. And so, yeah, people being disengaged, people not really engaging in conversations because they're frustrating, and a combination of bots and the ideologically or financially incentivized get to hog airspace. When in reality, the actual feelings of people are much different, but those feelings are harder to find because you have to look a little deeper. You have to go past, like, the fucking trending page on Instagram, you know? Does Instagram have a trending page? You know what I mean, like, the fucking, like, most popular stuff on social media. Basically, are you ready for this? Get Blue Sky. That's the end of the conversation. It benefits you to look for social spaces that are more niche and have a track record of disincentivizing bots and engagement farming, and incentivizing original content, incentivizing people that take longer to make better stuff. There are spaces like that. I'm not familiar with all of them, and I'm not the first person to say this. Yeah. What a rant. How productive to my art stream is this rant? But anyway, I've got to get to work. We did it. We did some art. Look at it. I colored this little guy. Now I have to do the line art. Well, I'm going to color the other guys and then do the line art. But you know what I mean. Yeah, another one done for the books. Another one done for the books. I need to, like, clip these rants. I need to, like, make clips of some of these things. I have the game stream that I did last Thursday. It's probably my best ever. I was engaged and was on fire. I was making quips. I gotta make shorts of some of those quips. And I guess I gotta clip some of these rants. Because it is valuable, you know? Especially because I can edit them and make it seem like my fucking train of thought was more succinct. Yuck! Excuse me. But no, I'm smacking, by the way. This sounds bad. It's just, this is just like I got some poster putty for hanging posters in my room because I'm one of those degenerates that doesn't frame their posters. And yeah, that's what it sounds like against my hand. This is kind of like a malleable material hitting another, like, you know, soft material. I'm saying too much. Good night. Good morning. Whatever. Anyway. I'm gonna see y'all around. I won't be streaming tomorrow. I'm helping a friend move. It'll be great. But anyway, the point is, I'll be back Thursday, most likely. Unless I'm too freaking tired from helping a friend move for 12 hours. Because it's like a 2-hour drive. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But the point is, have a good one.